So do we're just gonna kind of BS or?
Yeah, let's just BS, talk
All
about
right,
today's
that's cool.
podcast.
That's
That's
cool.
cool.
I
I'm good.
like that. I like that. All right. Hey,
That's the way I do it, anyways.
yeah, that's typically the way it goes with me. I mean, when I'm interviewing bands, I usually have like stock questions, but the rest of the time I'm just BSing.
Yeah, here we go. Yeah, that's cool.
All
No,
right.
I like your platform too because we both talk to bands and everything like
Yeah.
that, independent bands, whatever. But we each talked to Forest Hills, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, that's both of those individuals are just I I love their intensity when it
Hmm.
comes to their music plus the whole standing up for what they believe in and not really giving a damn what anybody else thinks. I
That's right.
just and it doesn't matter what your belief system is you are fervent in it, I guess is the right word. As long as you truly believe what you're saying, you're good to go.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, good guys for sure.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I had a blast talking to them, and really, their music just kind of it surprised me how good it
Yeah,
was.
yeah,
And
100%.
well, I've always been one, or at least probably over the past 5 years, that independent music has far surpassed much of what we hear on the mainstream,
Yeah,
especially when it comes to like pop.
yeah,
And I don't know, I'm kind of thumbs down on pop here lately
that's
because
fair.
it's all about the flash. It's all about the
Yeah,
look and not about the music.
that's right. That's right. Yeah, I don't gravitate much to pop either myself, but I met a great couple of people from they do like I guess power pop they call it like pop rock music and it's independent but it's fucking great and their label is called Big Stir Records and these guys they put out little I just got these they mailed me this today but they put out singles of bands
Oh,
they got so
cool.
they got like a CD, 20 songs on it with different bands and stuff like that. And everything I've heard from this label has been awesome. Like it's upbeat, it's good music. Like it's not like shitty watered down pop. Like there's actual thought and talent behind it. You know what
Right.
I mean? So that's cool. If you ever feel like checking some of those guys out, they're sweet. That's good.
Yeah, I just I mean I typically stick to the rock and
Yeah.
punk and metal
Hmm.
aspect of it, but it's just I don't know. I call myself musically bipolar,
Yeah. Yeah.
because I can go from Slayer, then drop down to ZZ Top. Next thing I know, I'm listening to Sarah McLachlan.
There you
So
go. Yeah. I'm the exact same way as you. Yeah. 100%.
with that, I have to say this, or everybody that listens to me, or and will eventually see this. If I didn't mention anything about that majestic fucking beard that you have right there.
Wow, I know. It's just because I'm too lazy to fucking shave it. That's all. There's no secrets. And yes, I am in ZZ Top. And yes, Duck Dynasty was a huge inspiration. That's the questions I get every time someone
Oh,
sees this fucking beard. It's like you motherfucker. Sorry, can I? I'm going to swear on this
yeah,
because it's
no,
my platform too.
I am
I swear
uncensored.
on my.
I am uncensored,
Okay,
brother.
but I get that a lot. If I had $1 for every time somebody on the street said, "Are you in ZZ Top?" It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
no, you know. But,
No, I get it. If I shave just if I have just the goatee, I always get the hey, take your glasses off, and I'll take my glasses off. They're like, you look like Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I'm like, not even close,
not even
dude. Not
close.
even close.
Open a can of whoop ass on you right
Oh,
now.
yeah. I usually tell them I'm gonna stomp a mud hole in them and then walk it dry.
Give me the Stone Cold Stunner right here.
Yeah, yeah. All 5'2" of me. Yeah,
There you
sure.
go.
Uh-huh.
He wasn't much taller. He's like, oh,
No,
God,
it's not. not really, but yeah, I'm just like, there'll be somebody 6 foot and they'll be giving me a hard time, and I'm like, you do know if I take both of your knees out, you'll be the same size as I am, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Not too tough. You got no legs left.
That's right. So I have to ask, what made you get into podcasting?
Well, it was pretty selfish, honestly. I was in a project called the Promised Land Band, and we're not super active now, but we were gonna do that to just do like in between albums, just start a podcast, me and Ron, and do like a behind the scenes what we're doing type thing. And we did one episode. That was it. And I was like, okay, well, that was fine, but I wanted to just play music for like I got tons of indie artists on Twitter that I would follow and shit, and I was like, well, maybe I'll just start playing their music, help them get it out there. I did that for a bit on Anchor FM I was using, and then I almost got fucking sued by Anchor because I was just putting music on. Yeah, because they're apparently Spotify owns them,
Mm-hmm.
and they were saying that you know you don't have the rights to play these songs. I'm like, well, they're all fucking unsigned people. Like they emailed them to me. I'm not paying royalties. I'm just playing it. But
Right.
that was a big no-no. They locked me out of my account and said, talk to a lawyer. And nothing ever came of it after that. But then I was like, okay, well, fuck, whatever. But then, so I just started doing interviews. I started just do interviewing independent artists I would talk to. I just really wanted, like you, I really wanted to just talk to bands that I heard that I knew were fucking dope and just try to shine the light on that a little bit if I can. Even if 10 people heard these guys, perfect. Because that's 10 more than might hear them normally. They're up against a lot of bullshit in the mainstream. And there's no more, if you want good music, you're not going to find it on the radio anymore. You have to look for it. And there's a ton of it out there. And that's why I wanted to do it. And I've lucked out. Predominantly wanted to do it for indie artists. Then I get guys like, Max Cavalera, Christian Machado, fucking Fallon Bowman from Kitty. Tons of like people that I looked up to when I was a kid listening to music. So like for me, that was totally surreal to have that happen. But I predominantly started this just for the indies, the unknown guys, right? So yeah, I just wanted to try and help out in some way because I felt I was in the same boat as them, and I thought, what could I benefit from other than just like a place to be heard in some way, in some capacity.
You know, our stories are a little bit connected. They're similar. I started off doing stuff on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I did. God, I think I did one like on baby metal. I did one on one of my best friend's bands, Letters of Transit, out of Columbus, Ohio. And I started really having fun with that. And I made the mistake of talking about bands from the 80s that I still love. It's like Cinderella,
Mm-hmm.
Tesla, LA Guns, and stuff like that. And of course, I put like, I don't know, 10 seconds of a Tesla song in there and copyright strike. And I
Copyright.
said, yeah. And I said, well, fuck this. And, I don't want to play with this anymore. And a guy at work, he told me, hey, just start a podcast. You can, pretty much, talk about whatever you want to on that. So I started that, and it took off, really quick, and still growing, all that great. I just, I didn't feel like messing with all that legal rigmarole that
No, it's not fun.
it's
And
not fun. And a lot of it's just ridiculous.
well, I think YouTube's bullshit. I don't think they have any fucking right to slap someone with a copyright suit. Like, look what the fuck they're doing. Their whole platform's a copyright infringement, for Christ's sake. I think, you know,
Well,
people are uploading it willingly and all that, but like people are still playing it. It's the same
well,
thing. They play music on fucking on Facebook. If you have a song in a video that you're recording or something, they'll say, you didn't write this song. Does the band give you authorization to, like, they give this big copyright warning before you even post it? It's like, Jesus Christ, I don't fucking just play this. This video's hilarious. It's Skid Row, my kids playing air drums. What the fuck's the problem?
right. Well, it's funny because like this past Sunday, no, Sunday before last, I was talking to another band from Ohio called So High, and they put they said, yeah, put whatever music you want to put on the beginning of the video. So I put their song The Equestrians, and it's like maybe a minute 15 seconds. And as soon as the video posted, I get copyright claim from CD Baby, and I'm like, you don't even own that song. You just distributed it. It's
Oh,
come on.
but the way, you know what, CD Baby though, they have a great business model that I don't think a lot of people realize is that they do own the song.
Do
Once
they
they
really?
upload, yeah, they
Okay,
slip
okay.
that in there. When you upload with CD Baby and they're putting it on YouTube or wherever they're putting it, they technically have the rights to that shit. And I just learned that on like Friday, this past
Wow.
Friday. I did not know that.
Okay.
I was
Well,
like,
they
oh,
didn't
so
strike it. They didn't strike it.
that's good. They just
They
give
just
you
kind
a
of flagged, yeah.
yeah.
And they said, "We'll monitor it." And I'm like, "Dude, I don't even have close to 1,000 subscribers, so I'm not making any money off of this."
Yeah, I'm not monetizing. Yeah, it's like, dude, I don't know how much you need to monetize. You need a bit, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's stupid. Just let people play music, and that's just other things that piss me off. It's like, are you just like all we're trying to do is help people get out there. We're not making money doing it. We genuinely love tunes. We think people are sweet. So what's the problem with that? What's the problem?
So I do have to ask, and I guess I kind of take on the interviewer
That's fine.
persona. I've done this for a while, but
That's good.
who's uh, who's the most interesting guest that you've had on your program?
The most interesting guest I've had in my program. Oh my God, I've had a few, but I think if I had to pick one besides Max Cavalera or Christian Machado, I would say I talked to a gentleman named Nick Forkiotis just last week, and he is a painter who's I've never talked to like a visual artist before, and he's a recovering meth addict. Had no prior um, desire to paint or experience painting or anything like that, and he said he started to paint when he was in rehab, just randomly, and he
Mm.
makes some of the most beautiful shit I've seen in my life. And me and my wife bought one of his paintings. It was fucking awesome. He's actually, and he'd never tell you this, but he's the nephew of the late Shannon Hoon from Blind Melon.
Oh, okay. I remember seeing that on your
Yeah,
Twitter.
yeah.
Yeah.
So he said he struggled a long time with trying to like advertise. He didn't want to be like, hey, this is I'm so I don't want to. He didn't want to try to ride any coattails or anything like that. But it's and his grandma, Shannon's mom, said, "Well, this is why Shannon would do it. He'd want you to at least say,"
Yeah.
and so and now he just started to do that. But like I thought that was really interesting. My wife was the Blind Melon fan. I am too, but not to the extent that she is. So to have that opportunity was pretty cool, and to have like a painting from him that he painted of like that bloodline or whatever, right? Like that's pretty fucking interesting to me. I thought, anyways. I had a hell of a conversation with him. Just a genuinely good guy and a super super interesting story. I thought for sure.
Uh,
Like I've talked to all these metal guys and indie musicians and stuff like that, and each one of them are interesting in their own way. But he definitely I had a I guess soft spot for sure. It was cool.
it just goes to show how small this world really is.
It's so small, man. It's
You
so
know,
small.
we talk about, it being, thousands of miles across and all this other, stuff. And when you put it in that scope, it seems really big, but when you break it down to the people,
Hmm.
it's really, really small. Even without technology, it's really, really small.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true, man. Well, what about you? Who was your most interesting person you've talked to?
Oh, man, I've talked to so many. I will say there's a band out of Birmingham, England called the Shitehawks.
The Shut Dogs. I love
Yeah,
it.
and they're a thrash metal band.
Okay.
Well, maybe more of a crossover thrash because I felt a little bit of like COC in their music,
Nice. Love COC.
but but their lead vocalist is actually a rapper,
Okay.
but he fits right in with that thrash style. And I
Mhm.
asked him, I said, "What in the hell is a shite hawk?" And they kind of laughed, and he says, "Well, it's a cunt. And I went, oh,
Okay.
what you would
Fair
call,
enough.
like if you're
Yeah.
insulting somebody, you're a
Yeah.
cunt.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'd be like us calling somebody a fucker over here. And he goes, yeah.
They throw that word around real frivolously over there. I do a radio show in the UK. About midnight, some nights I'll jump on and do one. But yeah, I always talk to the host about that. I'm like, how could you guys just throw the C word around like that? Like up here, I'm in Canada, and I think in the States, if you call someone that, that's kind of like, oof,
Yeah.
buddy, you must have fucked up to get that one thrown in. These guys just, they'll just throw it on a casual conversation. It's like, what's happening?
I think that C word has taken over the, because it used to be motherfucker was like the queen
That was the
mother of all
big one.
cuss words.
That was the one. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think the
Cocksucker,
C
that was
word
a
has
good one.
taken over.
Yeah.
But I've had a lot of just, Forest Hills were really interesting. Their story. So High is always fun to talk to. I've had them on the show a couple of times.
I see you got Mr. This Side of Anarchy. I talked to him.
Oh
He's
yeah,
good
man.
shit.
Dennis
Good
is a
shit.
badass. Dennis
boy.
is a badass.
He's
He's very smart. He's very intellectual when it comes to his music and his lyrics, and but he can just throw something that's kind of off the wall like Bacon Time.
That Bacon
And you're
Time,
like,
yeah.
dude, where the fuck did that come from?
Doesn't matter. It's so
It doesn't matter. It was awesome, but fuck, man, where did that come from?
Yeah, I enjoyed talking to him too. It's a really interesting story. One man operation, and everything he does all by himself. Website, producing, all that shit. I couldn't fucking believe it.
Yeah, he stays busy, very talented, both in the marketing aspect of his music and his music as a whole. It's just he keeps that punk renegade, I'm gonna make a statement attitude, and I think it's really cool that he's kind of staying true to what punk was supposed to be.
That's right. I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. That's cool, man.
With your band, Promised Land Band,
yeah.
I earlier today I watched the video for is it Ghetto in Your Mind?
Yeah, Ghetto of Your Mind, yeah.
Of Your Mind, yeah. Man, I guess it's Ron that's
Ron's the singer.
right.
Yeah.
I'm watching him.
Ron does everything in there. Like he played every instrument. He did everything. He fucking filmed the thing with a goddamn selfie stick. Just the two of us.
Well, and I'm watching it. I'm watching it going, that dude looks like Glenn Hughes. Has he ever gotten that?
I don't know, but I bet he'd take it.
I'm sitting there going, did Glenn Hughes shave his head or something? Because that looks like Glenn Hughes.
I'll tell him that. Yeah.
That was just my point of view. Somebody look at it and go, where the hell did he come up with that? But the song was, was really good. There was there were parts of it that almost felt kind of like haunting in a way.
Yeah.
But it was a song that you could really, doesn't matter where you come from. I think you can resonate with the message that's there.
Nice.
And that's a big thing for me. If I cannot have some type of connection with a song, I will instantly discard it.
Right.
And even though that's out of my wheelhouse, I enjoyed it. I thought it was a well done video, a really great song, and
we fucking filmed 3 in one day. We just drove around with that fucking selfie stick. Away we went.
Well, and if you, who cares? It was well done. It doesn't matter if it's with a selfie stick or if you paid $5,000 for a film crew. Yeah.
We just wanted to try something. I'd never done music videos before, and Ron had it in his mind that's what we got to do. You just got to fucking get out there. It's like, yeah, but Ron, you're like 60 years old. Nobody gives a fuck about music videos anymore, dude.
No way.
He's right. They do. You need music videos. It was more when we were talking about putting the album out, and he wanted to press all these CDs and shit, and all this physical stuff. And I was like, Ron, he's like, what? I was like, where's your CD player? He's like, I don't have one. I was like, well, fuck yeah, there you go. So why are we gonna pay? Why are we gonna pay to press all this shit? We ended up just burning a bunch ourselves or whatever, but we didn't sell that many. But it's all online everywhere. But that's funny. No, I appreciate you listening. That's cool. We haven't done anything new for a while. The pandemic kind of fucked us over. We had some shows booked up. We were going to hit the festival circuit in the summer here. No dice.
So, yeah, I think with the pandemic, I know here in the States that a lot of venues have been forced to close permanently,
Yeah.
which is a crying shame.
That's
And
horrible.
depending on what state you're in, and of course it has political ties to it and all this other crap, but some are, they're still, quarantined to the point where they don't even want you to go to work unless you're essential or whatever.
Right.
But when it comes to the independent music scene, without those stages, it's and I think it was Fox 26 here in Houston. They did a little story on this guy who had a live music venue, I think in Pasadena, and he'd had that place for like 10 or 12 years, and then because of this he had to shut it down permanently. And that was his father's dream that he was holding up, so I'm just like, god damn, this
sucks.
This shit is getting too real right now.
It's hard, man. That's crazy. I don't know. It's fucked everybody over at every level, talking to especially indie bands that are just starting out trying to have a place to play, now they can't. To the guys that do it for a living, touring, now they can't. What do you do?
Well,
that's a lot of people's livelihood.
What's it like in Canada?
Where I'm at, I'm in Saskatchewan, so that's in the middle of the province. And right now, we were good. Like my province was good for the first wave or whatever.
Right.
But now we're fucked. Or like all the hospitals are full, the ICUs are full. Our cases went up 500% in a month. Like, it's nuts, man. It's so disgusting. We had maybe, I think at one time in March, in total by like May or June, we had like 78 cases. That's it. Right. Like, which is fuck all. But now we hit our first day. Now we've got 8,900 and some, like, total in the whole province. But my city has a lot. It's a smaller city, so there's a lot of cases. Got like 800 cases or something. But we had our first day with double digits, so that was like 99 cases or something. Then we jumped up to 150, then 2, and now we had one day it was like 390, and it's just like, Jesus Christ, it's just fucking blowing up. It's stupid. I don't know.
Well, I know down here in the States, it's, you're either on this whole thing is a bunch of shit,
yeah,
or it's, it's being blown out of proportion, or you better take this stuff seriously or it's going to kill you. And you've got news media and everybody else going back and forth, so we don't know what the hell's going on for real.
That's that's the same as up here, because there's not, I think, well, nobody knows. That's the problem, right? If they knew what the fuck this shit was, they could maybe have a better plan of attack. But I think it was get everybody, at least in Canada, or at least one unified front in the States, one unified front in Canada, and just say, look, right down the middle, this is what we do. Not, well, this state says this, so we'll go with this state says this. This province says this province says this. Just one fucking thing right across the board, and just leave it. And like combine the research and whatever you got to do to just figure it all out, get in front of the fucking thing, shut it down, help each other out, and just get on with their fucking lives. Now it's like we're probably heading back to another shutdown. I know some places in the States are shutting down again. It's like, fuck, man, like, what are we going to do? Europe just came out of like a 4-week shutdown. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's as dangerous as it is, or as it's being portrayed, because I'm not going to take one side or the other.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I think the thing that kills me the most is that, you know, we've had people lose their jobs, and of course that sucks. That's
Yeah.
horrible. But from being a little bit selfish, I'm just like, I want my live music back.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I've got a venue 4.5 miles down the road that is wonderful, and I've seen a bunch of bands there, and I
Which
miss
one's that?
going. Acadia Bar and Grill.
There you go. I was going to ask about the Acadia. I know a few bands that have played there.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
they've got at Acadia, they've got one of the best lighting and sound guys there, and I mean every band that I've seen there sounds just
True.
stellar,
Yeah.
and the bar staff is amazing, and people that go there are really cool. But you know, the only thing that's kind of keeping them open, I think, is because they had the word grill behind it, bar and
Oh.
grill.
Uh-huh.
So if you could be construed as a restaurant because you serve food,
You can keep that part open and then, yeah.
yeah,
Smart.
yeah. So, uh, but I just miss being able to go to shows,
Yeah.
and you know, I don't know, but I noticed in the music, um, you have this really interesting rap delivery in the music, and I'll be completely honest with you. If it goes much past like Bone Thugs and Harmony from way back in the day,
I love Bone Thugs. Fuck. I wish I could rap like that.
but you know, I think it added a really cool dimension. Who were your influences when it comes
See,
to the rapping?
fuck man, there's a hip hop group from Detroit called Twisted, you know, like Insane
Mm-hmm.
Clown Posse and all those guys. I loved
Mm-hmm.
all those guys when I was coming up. DMX, Tech Nine, fucking KRS-One, Biggie, Pac, all those guys. I love those guys, but I could never. I just get so fucking. I'd get so fucking frustrated because I could never do anything even close to what those guys could do. I'd be like, I hate it.
Right.
I don't even fucking sound like anybody. And then somebody's like, well, isn't that the point? I was like, oh yeah, fuck, I guess so. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you know. And from there, that's just the way I do it. I don't know. I don't know, man. I wish I had a better scientific, more
Well,
mind of an artist answer.
no.
That's just how it comes out. I don't fucking
Well, the thing is, and it doesn't matter what genre of music it is. If the feel is there, and it feels natural and it feels good and it resonates with somebody, do it.
know. Yeah,
You know, don't worry about what other people think, because
yeah.
music, at least from a musician standpoint, is I'm really doing this for myself, and if you
Yeah.
dig it, cool.
Cool. If
If you
not,
don't,
man,
that's cool too.
that's fine. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we played quite a few gigs up here, but like I said, once the pandemic hit, that was about it for now.
Yeah,
Then I got busy doing the podcast thing and radio shows, and I've got this other project I'm working on. It's a four country collab called Dark Matter Will Flow. I've got one of the guys is in Finland, one is in UK, one's in Virginia, and I'm here. So you know we send files back and forth. It's fucking fun. It's awesome. It's interesting as hell. It's like the bastard son of Pink Floyd, Depeche Mode, Black Sabbath, and DMX. It's fucked up. It's fucked up.
that's not fucked up. That sounds really actually
I'll
fucking
send you. I'll
cool.
send you a link. I'll fucking send you
Okay.
a link right
All
now.
right. All right. That sounds
Yeah,
really
man.
fucking cool. I mean,
Yeah, I met
you
one
had
of the
me at Pink
guys on.
Floyd, so
Well, yeah, you'll hear it when you hear some of it. But and that's just a project that started just from following dudes on Twitter. You know, I was
yeah.
talking to the one guy, Jeff Vicario was his name, and he had he had a great project called Black Distortion, one man band. He's just a monster. I thought I really admired his shit, and I told him when I was doing the podcast, like, send me some of your music, like I'll fucking play it, like send me a lot, and
Yeah.
I'll just play up the fucking whatever. I did like 2 hours of his music, and it was awesome. And then got to talking to him, and I said, I've got this solo project where I'm just making music and stuff, and I'd like to collab if ever you're down. He's like, yeah, fuck, let's see what happens. Why not? And then the one day I sent him I've got this little fucking thing about this big. It's called a Korg mono monotrone something or other. It's just a bunch of fucking knobs, makes crazy like saw sounds and shit. So
Oh, okay.
it's fucked up. So I was playing with that and I was like, okay, here, Jeff, just see what you do with that. And he like did that and he loved it and he turned into a song. And then before we knew it, we had we did 10 songs in 14 days. It was fucked. That was fast. And it was good. And these are like 8-minute long songs. They're not short little whatever songs. Like these are epic fucking tunes. And now that was just me and him. But when we kind of got into like the second stage of it, we had collaborated with these two guys. One is called the Zero Point Project, who's a phenomenal artist. Other guy's called Hikikomori Pact, who's also a phenomenal artist. And all of us were all solo artists. So we all came into like this weird project. But we would get JB as the Hikikomori Pact and Craig as Zero. So we'd get Craig and JB to kind of collab with us on these songs. Like JB would play bass on some, and we'd get Zero to do drums or whatever. And then we're just like, we're gonna ask them to do the next fucking 10 songs anyway. So why don't we just see if they want to just be in it? And he's like, and they said, yeah, fuck, for sure, why not? So, and then we just started doing it. And then like the second incarnation, I started to do my vocals on it as well with Jeff, and it's cool, man. It's a lot of fucking fun. I can't lie to you. It's awesome. I love it. It's different.
That's one thing I miss is actually being in a band.
Yeah.
It's
you play
been
drums, right?
Yeah, it's been probably 6 years now, I think, since I've been behind a kit. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm at a job where I can actually make some pretty good bank. As soon as possible, I'm getting at least a digital kit so I can at least put my headphones on and bang the shit out of that for a little while, get my chops back up or whatever. But that's one thing I miss is actually being in a band.
Yeah, for sure. That's fun.
Just making music, and now that we've got all this cool technology and somebody can send me some guitar riffs or whatever, and hey, put a drum beat to this, record it and send it back to them. I'm like, okay, sky's the limit right now. Yeah, so this is really cool.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, man. There's no excuses. You don't even need that much gear. Like if you get an electronic kit, you're set.
Oh yeah.
Set. You record right to the computer, you're good to go.
Oh yeah.
Easy peasy.
Yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, at some point I'm going to upgrade this laptop and go get me one of those, like a big gaming desktop with the 32 gigs of RAM and all this other stuff. So I'm like, nothing is going to crap out while I'm doing this.
Nothing's going to slow you down at all.
That's right. Who are some of your favorite bands that you listened to growing up?
Okay, that's easy for me. So I would have to say for like old bands or classics, I'd say like Billy Joel I loved.
Oh yeah.
Billy Joel. Michael Jackson I was a huge fan of. Shit like that. I love my dad listened to fucking everything. Like Eagles. Well, I'm not a huge Eagles guy now, but like I remember listening to Eagles, Toto, that sort of stuff, Aerosmith, everything, all the way to like Belinda Carlisle and whatever. Some country, but not a whole shitload for me. But when I kind of got paving my own way into music, I went right to the heavy shit. Soulfly, Sepultura, Il Niño, fucking Slipknot was one of my favorite bands, at least for their first 2 albums, and then Seven Dust. Or probably,
there you go.
Right. Probably
those are my boys right
there.
Probably
Soulfly and Seven Dust are my top 2 at this point. So anything like that, anything in that new metal era was my shit, and I still listen to that shit. I don't fucking care. It's like I will go and I'll put on the goddamn Snot album or the first System of a Down or this Toxicity or whatever, and just fucking be in my heaven, or the first Mudvayne album or whatever, and I'll still listen to that shit. I don't fucking care. I don't care.
Did you come from a musical family?
Instrument wise, no, but just the love of music.
Just the love of music. I that's musical. If you have a love for music, then it seems to transcend generations and pass down and everything. That's really awesome.
Yeah, man. My parents were huge, still listen to music all the time. My fucking dad bought one of these big ass like one speaker PA systems. You know, the big fucking
Oh
big.
yeah.
He bought one of those for no reason. He was like, Dad, I went down to see him like last summer. I was like, Dad, what the fuck are you gonna do with that? He's like, I'm just gonna listen to tunes on it. I'm like, why? You don't. That's like a PA, dude. You don't need anything. It's a little unnecessary. He's like, it'll be fine. Talking to him later, he's like, "Oh man, me and Mom are just bumping this fucking thing." Because I bought like Google Play Family Plan or whatever, so I put him on it, and he's just the happiest, fucking happier than a pig in shit, and fucking go around and find whatever he wants, and just maybe I can just do that, and holy fuck, oh, so it's
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, it's
Uh,
awesome.
my on my mother's side of the family, we were very musical. My grandfather was a guitarist, talented singer. Um, my oldest uncle, guitar, bass, sing like an angel. My younger uncle, he played bass. My son makes house music.
Yeah,
And I'm not into EDM so much, but his
it's
stuff is
good.
really good.
Yeah,
Of course, I
there's a
play
place
drums and
for
whatnot.
you got drums.
Yeah, and this past Thanksgiving, well, we did our Thanksgiving a couple of weeks ago,
Mhm.
and my cousin Jake, he comes walking out of the house, and he's got one of those compact orange amps and a Les Paul Special too, and I'm like, "Are you serious?" And he's over there playing like Nirvana and Leonard Skinner and stuff. And next thing I know, I'm playing drums on a table. My uncle is singing "Sweet Home Alabama," and Jake's over there just wailing away on this guitar. And we're playing it at about half speed, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I have never played "Sweet Home Alabama" so slow in
Slow.
my life, but it was awesome. But I'm glad you mentioned Seven Dust because wow, that's
They
a band
were. That's a big band, dude. That's a big.
that's well, I grew up. My mother would play the Bee Gees at
Yeah.
nauseum. I
Yeah.
love them. I love them today.
Yeah.
Sarah McLachlan at nauseum, Michael Jackson at nauseum. But when I first, started getting my own musical
That's
identity,
right.
it was King's X. That's
Nice. King
forever and a
Sex.
day. King's X will be
Oh
my all-time
fuck.
favorite band.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Awesome.
There's something about that band that grabs a hold of you and does not let go.
That's
But
awesome.
Seven Dust is a very close second.
Yeah. I actually just ordered their first album on vinyl finally, so that'll be here soon. I love that Home was my favorite one, I think, but their first they were all good. Like those guys, I don't think they put out a super fucking bad album, but the first two were awesome, and Animosity was great, and then they had that Southside acoustic double
Oh
wide one that
yeah.
was fucking phenomenal. Like I, they only came to my city one time to play, and I fucking went, and it was awesome. It was great.
Yeah, I was living in San Angelo, and my wife at the time said, "Hey, Seven Dust is playing in San Antonio. Do you want to go?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And her family lived there, so we went, and I lost my shit. I went completely nuts. And when they did Trust live,
Oh yeah.
I was like, "They're doing Trust," just going crazy. And even before that, she was the one that said, "Hey, um, I know you want to go see King's X. They're playing in San Antonio as well." And I had to suffer through Nashville Pussy, I think was the opening
Yeah.
act. They
Hmm.
were it was just like,
What an
no, they're
odd pairing.
well, here the whole bill was Nashville Pussy, King's X, and Skid Row without Sebastian Bach. So I was already like,
Yeah,
but
you know.
um saw King's X, got to meet all three of them and shake their hand and tell them how awesome they were and stuff. I think I actually broke down and cried that day. It She's just kind of looking at me like, boy, what's wrong with you? They're just humans, you know?
Yeah,
But
still.
See, I got to meet Tracy Guns. I actually got to go on LA Guns tour bus years and years ago in Montana. I was in the Air Force at the time. Steve Riley comes up to me and goes, "Hey, dude, you got any weed?" And I just looked at him and went, I don't know how many times I've told you already. I'm in the Air Force. What do you think?" And he's like,
"Do that, yeah."
Oh, sorry about that, man. I'm so sorry. It's all right. I'm half drunk too, so don't worry about it.
Yeah. That's always funny. I remember one time we saw All That Remains came to my town, and the singer Phil was totally hitting us up for weed in the parking lot. It's like, "Hey guys," it's like, "Holy fuck, it's Phil from All That Remains." He's just tiny. He's so small. He's only like 4 foot. He's just that big. I was like, "What's up? What's up, little guy?" You know. "You got any weed?" We're like, "Yeah, wait here." We like ran home to our apartment, fucking came back. It was awesome.
Hey, speaking of Sepultura and Max, got to see them twice. I've seen Sepultura twice.
With Max or without?
Both with Max.
Nice.
First one was Fudge Tunnel, Fear Factory, and then Nail Bomb came and did some songs, and then it was Sepultura. And
that's sweet.
We were outside before the show started, and we saw Sepultura's bus. And this was during when I guess Roadrunner was doing that "We Don't Do Drugs" campaign stuff. Yeah. And they opened the door, and it just billowed smoke out of there, and I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" But we actually got to speak to Igor for a little bit. He was cool. Yeah. And then the second time I saw Sepultura was Prongs, Sepultura, and Pantera.
Nice. That's a bill. That's a fucking bill.
Yeah. I forget how because Sepultura and Pantera did that drum medley that they did. Yeah. I forget how they labeled it. I remember the Pantalica one, but Sepultura or something.
Pantera or something.
Yeah, Sepultura or something like that. It was really fucking awesome. Yeah. And Prong was fucking out of this world too.
Yeah.
That was yeah. I had a bruise across my chest from that show being pushed up against the guardrail. Yeah. We were right there in front. I was right in front of Tommy Victor. Just holy shit.
Fuck. That's awesome.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, it was that was some crazy stuff. But where can the Limbocast be heard?
So you can find it on Spotify and everything like that, Google Podcasts, Amazon, Podbean. If you go to limbopodcast.info, it's there I think I've got 170 some episodes up there now. Twice a week, Tuesdays and Fridays, you can hear it on SLERadio.com. They play it on their radio station, which is cool. And yeah, I think that's it. I put the videos up on their YouTube channel as well, on the SLE Radio YouTube channel. So
that I have to say I was impressed with the layout of the website, the Podbean website.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
I was like, man, I wish mine looked like that.
My co-host did that before he left. I was like, well, there you go. Good enough. Yeah.
Because I'll go look at mine and I'm like, mine looks like shit compared to that one.
Well, I don't know how to make changes to it, so it's going to be stuck like that.
I mean, it's good. It's got all the information, with your sponsors, and then of course who you're talking to, and the little synopsis of what's going on and whatnot, and it just looks great. I think the website looks really great.
I appreciate that.
So any one of my listeners that's listening to this, go check out Limbocast. I did check out the Max Cavalera one. He seems like a really cool dude.
Dude, he's like, I don't know. It's fucking ridiculous. It is absolutely. Okay, here's how we got Max Cavalier. It's because we were talking to his son, Richie. For like 6 months, we had Richie would come on once a week and talk metal with us. That was
Hmm.
fucking cool as hell. And then we'd always send the link to Gloria, Max's wife, on Twitter. I'd be like, "Here, Gloria, here's this one, this, and this, and this." She's like, "Awesome, awesome, awesome." Then one day she's like, and we joked about this. Me and my co-host joked. We'd say, now one day we'll get, watch this. We'll fucking talk to Max too. Ha 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 ha. Yeah, that'll be fucking hilarious. And then yeah, sure enough, one day she's like, "Okay, well you guys can talk to Max next." And we're like, "What the fuck?" All right. But that was the second time he was on. Now this past one's the second time. So
Well,
yeah,
you could tell there was a little bit of
the
familiarity
first
with
time I was so starstruck. I was just like, and we didn't have video, thank God,
right.
because we just did audio. I was like, I'm not gonna be able to look at this guy and fucking talk to him. I just like sat like this, like trying to fucking like, okay, don't say something fucking stupid. Don't say something fucking stupid. But he was such a cool guy, man. He's so cool. I
And
can't say enough good about. I can't say enough good about that whole fucking family. I've never talked to Igor Senior, but I've talked to Richie and Igor Junior and Max, and they're all fucking solid guys. They're all
uh,
fucking.
it what I've found is the vast majority of the guys that and ladies that we look up to as musicians and
Yeah,
artists, they're really quite approachable. They're
yeah,
not
they totally.
standoffish at all.
Even Christian, like Christian Machado, I've had him on 4 times, 4 or 5 times now. And I emailed him one day, or I emailed his manager one day on a whim because I knew he was putting out a great solo acoustic record, and I was like, I gotta fucking hear this because I was a huge El Nino fan. And so I just emailed this manager. I was like, hey, I don't know if Christian's doing this crazy press tour or nothing, but if he is, I want in. I'll fucking talk to him. And then we hit it off, and then just started DMing on Twitter or whatever. And that's it. All comes down to Twitter for me, for meeting people, talking to people, reaching out. That's how I book these guys. There's no fucking huge secret. I'll just go after them. If
Right.
I can try, I'll try. I'm not afraid. I've tried many and haven't had fuck all, which is fine.
Right.
But I'll always shoot my shot, as they say. So
Well, if you don't shoot your shot, you'll never know if you made it or not.
sure. So yeah,
And that's something I've had to learn uh, several different ways, and it really applies to everything,
yeah,
whether it's your podcast, your music, your job. If you don't shoot the shot, you'll never make it.
that's right. That's right. That's the way it is. What about you, man? Where can we find your stuff to check out?
Much the same places you can find yours: Spotify, Radio Public, Amazon, Audible, um, Overcast. I think there's like 10 or
Yeah.
11 platforms that they're on. I can't remember all of them at
Yes.
this, but
You
yeah,
just type in the little rage show, you'll
yeah,
find
you
it.
just type in the Mind of Little Rage or Little Rage, and it should be the first one to pop up. Just look for my ugly face as a caricature with a
The
nuclear
caricature.
warhead. Yeah, with a nuclear warhead coming
That's
out
good.
of it.
That's a good logo. That actually drew me to be like, what the fuck is this? It's like, oh, he's talking to Forest Hills. You talked to him before I did. It's like, I got to see what the hell this is all about. So I knew something. But yeah, that's
Well,
good.
my buddy Wes, we were high school buddies, and we were actually in a band together and everything, and talented artist. And I called him up one day and said, "Dude, I need a logo." And he's like, "Okay." And he sent me a rough sketch, and I used that for a little while. And then I think it was around Christmas last year, or year before last. He goes, "Are you ready?" And I said, "For what, dude?" And he goes, "Merry Christmas," and sent me that picture. I'm just like, holy shit.
Perfect.
I mean, if I'm walking down the street in one of my shirts, they're like,
Yeah. That's you.
"Yes, it's me." I
This was
had to
taking
go
on a
into
bad day. Yeah.
I had to go into work to sign some paperwork for end of month stuff, and I had this shirt on, and the guys that were there were like, "Dude, we want merch," and I'm like, "Guys, you got to wait a little bit. I got to order more." But yeah, I'll have merch before too long, so
That's awesome.
don't worry
That's
about it.
awesome.
Just tell me when I get ready, I'll get your sizes and everything. But uh,
That's awesome.
yeah, it's really cool. I will. I gotta plug it,
Yeah,
but
plug it.
you know, check out Limbocast because it's fun. It's informative. It's much like this one. You're talking to independent musicians of all genres, and some heavyweights. Max Cavalera, I mean, it doesn't get much bigger than that when it comes to the metal scene.
Yeah. That'll be the biggest guest I get, just so you people know. That's the top of the fucking mountain for me. That's as high as I go. That's it.
At least for now, right?
Yeah, we'll see. See where it goes after that. You never know.
You never know. You might get.
I emailed fucking Eddie Vedder's management company just to see. It's like, why not? You can talk to Eddie on Tuesday. Okay, sure. Fuck, why not?
Well, I kind of did the same thing. I reached out to Love Bites out of Japan. I reached out to their management, and they're like, they are currently in production right now. And I'm like, okay, the offer always stands. Yeah, I'll check back later. At least I got a reply back.
That's it. Well, that's how you get it and say, okay, great. When they're finished up their album, tell them they have a place to talk to me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I know they speak English because they sing in English.
Yeah. That's right. I can understand you.
Right. And if we need a translator, that's fine.
That's fine. We'll find one. Yeah. Another great guest I forgot to fucking mention is Rob Rivera from Nonpoint. He was a fucking solid guest too. He was good. Good guy. Solid guy.
Absolutely. Well, I don't want to take up any more of your time, and it's a weeknight. It's a work day or whatever, and everything like that. I appreciate you taking time to talk to me today.
Fuck, man, it was a blast, dude. We'll have to do it again sometime.
Hell yeah,
let's set aside once a month. Fuck it.
Hey, you know what? I'm up for that. That sounds cool to me. We can bring each other's audiences up on what's going on because, not all the people that listen to this just listen to metal. They listen to all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so, for sure.
Yeah, we'll set that up and see what we can do. And again, I appreciate you spending time with me coming on. And
it was a blast, man. I had a great time.
Yeah, awesome. But yeah, maybe we'll set it up for once a month. Limbocast and TMOLR just get together and talk to shit.
Shoot the shit. Why not? I'm fucking in.
Hell yeah.
Let's do it.
I like it. I like that idea.
All right, man. I'm good anytime. We'll set it up.
All right.
Cool, buddy.
Well, do you want me to send you the recording of this or?
I just recorded it too. So
okay, you're good then. Okay.
We'll double down on it, but I'm gonna post this right away. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my intro and everything into it, and I'll be posting here shortly as well. So it'll be all over Twitter and whatnot. So
that's right. Awesome.
All right, brother. Have a great night. Thank you again, and we'll be in touch.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, dude. Peace.
Nice to meet you.